For years, I thought that if I continued to improve my martial arts standard, my martial arts skills, my knowledge, that automatically my business would grow. I couldn't have been more wrong, especially when there were other people around me where schools and martial art businesses were popping up with, you might be able to resonate now, not as good a standard, but yet they were doing far better at me when it comes to obviously the business side of things. So I was probably about a third dan then, so maybe, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, something like that, maybe even longer. And it was at that point I realised that must be more to building a martial arts school than just being a good martial artist and trying to improve myself all the time in terms of my technical ability. So again, improving your technical ability, tick, massive, really good, definitely needed. We need to keep progressing, we need to keep growing as martial artists. However, when it comes to building and running and establishing a martial arts business, often it's not really about the standard, it's about understanding best business practices. So as soon as I realised that in order for the school to grow, I needed to grow, and by I mean I need to grow, I'm not talking about martial arts skills or standard, I'm talking about me as a person, me as an individual, me as, up here in knowledge and mindset, then that's when I went on a relentless pursuit, and I'm still on that pursuit, and I'm probably going to be on that pursuit until the day I die, to acquire more and more knowledge. But not only acquire knowledge, apply the knowledge. That's the big thing that's always missing. So when you go on generic business courses, generic business masterminds, which are okay, I've been on several, okay, you should always be able to pick up a few nuggets. It's applying the knowledge, because if knowledge was the key, if information was the key, then we'd all be slim, happy, healthy, have no problems, and running successful businesses. But the day I realised was when I'd ultimately burnt out, ended up in hospital, and then that's when I thought to myself, there must be a better way than this, because it was clear from the outside looking in. And again, I did have a successful school. Classes were always full. We were always enrolling students. There was always money in the bank. We were open 5 days a week then, maybe 6 days a week back then. But it was clear that the business was running me and I wasn't running the business. And that's the thing that needed to change. So if you've got feelings now of the business is running you and you're always having to put out fires and all, even if you've only got one team member, or if you haven't got any team members, I remember those days, everything does need to come through you, then there is an easier way. Trust me, there is an easier way. It's about learning how to do things properly, and it's about understanding the operator's mindset up here. Like I said, what I mentioned at the start of the video, improving your martial arts standard is fantastic. Well done. Keep it up. Keep doing that. Definitely, because we always need to learn, to grow, to improve. We always need to feel like a white belt. At least I do. But it's the business skills that we need to learn. And like I said, generic business coaching is good. It's okay. It'll help you. But it's nowhere near going to be as effective and as efficient as specific business coaching. Okay? So I've spent probably over 120, 130,000 on mentoring over the last 10 years or so. Probably read over 300, 350 books on the subjects I mentioned earlier on, generally to try and help improve my business. And the thing is, as soon as I learned something and felt it was valuable, then I brought it into my business, it did improve the business. And it didn't mean that I needed to be working more days or more hours. It meant that I could be concentrating on what I wanted to concentrate on. So if you know there's a better way out there, then obviously have a look at some more of these videos on this channel. Obviously the playlist now is for martial arts school owners. And if you truly are serious and you know that you've got more potential and you know that your school's doing well, but you need to push it through to that next level, I'm going to let you into a little secret here. Getting it to the next level isn't that hard. But what you don't want to be doing is getting it to that next level and as a result working more hours and becoming more stressed. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, because anybody can obviously start to enroll more members and keep over more members and do more marketing. But if it means you working more and more, then this just happens. You don't want that to happen. You want to keep to however much you want to work and what you enjoy, but the business to still go like this, not you go like that with the business and getting more stressed out and more burnt out, as what's happened to me several times in the past. So book a school strategy evaluation call and we'll have a good chat. And again, if the Martial Arts School Growth Mastery is for you, then fantastic, we'll take it a step further forward. If not, then you leave with a few ideas, tweaks on how to improve your school. Good luck, keep taking steps further forward, and all the best. Take care.